Students are studying the two-dimensional motion of objects as they move through the air. Specifically, they are examining the behavior of a sphere that is launched horizontally from a location above the floor with an initial velocity v sub 0 in the plus x direction as shown in the figure. The students assume that the positive directions are along the sphere's initial velocity for horizontal motion and downward for vertical motion. Let's stress that again, and downward for vertical motion. The horizontal displacement of the object from the starting point is x, and the vertical displacement of the object from its starting point is y. One of the students derives an equation for y in terms of x and other quantities. After examining the equation, the student claims that y is proportional to x squared. Part A. Derive an equation for the vertical coordinate y of the sphere as a function of x, v0, and physical constants as appropriate. Well, we know that horizontally we have that x is just going to be v0 times the time, where t is the time to hit the ground. And we know that vertically y is going to be its initial position plus the velocity in the y direction times t plus 1/2 times the acceleration in the y direction times t squared. But, and this is sort of important, we know that y is 0 because we're going to start our coordinate system here. And we know that vy at the start is 0. And so we end up with that y is just 1/2 times g times t squared. We go back up and we say, but the first equation tells us that the time to hit the ground, or the time that it travels, is x over v0. And so we get y is 1/2 g x over v0 squared, which the rubric says you're of course free to write as 1/2 gx squared over v0 squared. Either way, that gets you the 2 points. Part B. The students have access to the experimental apparatus shown in the figure. Besides the sphere, the apparatus consists of the following: a launcher that launches the sphere horizontally, always with the same unknown speed v0, and a stand that can be used to adjust the height of the launcher above the floor. The students also have sheets of plain paper, several sheets of carbon paper, a meter stick, and a stopwatch. Whenever the sphere bounces off of the carbon paper produces a visible mark on the sheet of plain paper that is under the carbon paper as shown in the figure. So, a thing we had done with the projectile labs that we did. Design an experimental procedure that the students could follow in order to test the claim that y is proportional to x squared. In the table below, list the quantities and associated symbols that would be measured in your experiment and the experiment used to measure them. Also list the equipment that will be used to measure each quantity. You do not need to fill in every row. If you need additional rows, you may add them to the space just below the table. So this sentence is sort of redundant. Just check that online. They ask you for the equipment twice, but they only need you to say it once. So let's think about how we're going to measure where this thing is. Since we are trying to measure the claim that y is proportional to x squared, clearly we need to measure the height y. Right, so initial height, which I'll symbolize by y, and I'll measure using a meter stick, and the final distance x squared, so I'll need the landing distance, which I'll call x, which I'll measure with a meter stick. And bizarrely, that's all we need. If we have those two numbers, we can test the quantity of that y is proportional to x squared. So we just need an experiment that will let us do that. Describe the overall procedure to be used, referring to the table. Provide enough detail so that another student could replicate the experiment, including any steps necessary to reduce experimental uncertainty. As needed, use the symbols to find the table and/or include a simple diagram of the setup. And it's worth dwelling on and repeating, including any steps necessary to reduce experimental uncertainty, how we can see that our result is more valid. All right, so, I don't know, step 1, measure, actually let's even put it this way, pick an initial height, y, measuring using the meter stick. I don't know if the meter stick is necessary to say right here. They've been a bit pedantic, so it's probably worth being explicit rather than being not explicit. And then we would fire, right, activate the launcher, fire the launcher, see about where the ball hits. Reset the launcher and place carbon paper where the ball hit. Activate the launcher. Use meter stick to measure X where the mark is. And then try this for multiple values of Y. At least 3 or 4, preferably more. Not clear to me, maybe also, and put if time permits, try multiple activations at the same height. This will minimize the spread in X, a little bit at least. And then I guess nominally we should say maybe plot X squared versus Y and see if the line fits through the origin. All right, and if it does, then we've got Y is proportional to X squared, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. So that would be it. The student's teacher has a video camera, which is not available for use in the experimental procedure described in Part B, rats. The teacher uses the camera and video analysis software to generate the data shown in the table below. The table shows the sphere's horizontal and vertical displacements X and Y as measured from the location of the sphere's launch point, and that's what the two columns are. Part C. The students wish to use the teacher's data to determine whether the claim that Y is proportional to X squared is true. In Part 1, indicate which quantities could be graphed to determine whether the claim is true. You may use the remaining columns of the table as needed to record any quantities, including units, that are not already in the table, and then tell us what would the vertical and horizontal axis be. It seems relatively clear that we would like to measure X squared, which would be in units of meters squared, and we should grind that out on a calculator. We get 0, 2, 5, 1, 2.25, and 4. I guess these should be 2 digits as well. All right, and then if we were to plot X squared on the vertical and Y on the horizontal, we should get what we want. So we're going to plot Y, which is measured in meters, on this axis, and we're going to plot X squared measured in meters squared on that axis. And we're going to use the following values. Well, our value of Y runs from 0 to just about 1. So I'm going to make it easy to count off. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's call this 1 over here, which means that this is a half, which means each tick mark is 0.05. And then let's say that we go from 0 roughly from 0.25 to 4. So let's call this 4, 3, 2, 1. So each of these is 0.20. And then we can just walk through it. So our first guy is at 0.065 and 0.25. 0.65 would be more than 0.5 but less than 0.1. 0.2, so maybe something like here. And the other is at 2.5, which is halfway up. So it looks something like maybe that point. Our next point is at 0.25 and 1. So 0.25 is here, and 1 would be that. Probably a little over from that, but okay. Then we have 0.56 and 2 1/4. 0.56, well, let's see. 0, this is 0.5, 0.55, 0.6, 0.65, 0.7, 0.75, so 0.55, and it's a little bit to the right of that and up at 2 1/4. So here, and then 2 1/4, well, this would be 2.2, so 2 1/4 is probably something like that. And then finally, almost exactly 1 and 4, so that's easy to spot, so something like that at least. And that's our graph. Do the data in the above graph support the claim that y is proportional to x squared? And I would argue that since we can do a pretty good line that hits the data, well, okay, I can't, but in principle, we could do a pretty good line that hits our data and does go through the origin. The answer is yes, because a fit line hits the data and passes through the origin. So y, or x squared, is some number times y, which is what proportionality would be. So we're good on that one. Part D. The graphs show the sphere's horizontal and vertical velocity components, v sub x and v sub y, as functions of time t, where t equals 0 is the instant the sphere is launched. On the same graphs, sketch what vx and vy would look like for a different launcher that has a launch speed that is less than v0. So the first thing is it still has a constant horizontal speed because there's no acceleration to the side, and we're told that it starts less, so it's just going to be a horizontal line, right? Vx is going to be a horizontal line, but at a lower value. And for Vy, it still starts at rest, and it still has the same acceleration, so it has the same slope, so Vy is actually going to be an identical line. And that's what they say in the rubric. 1 point is earned for Vx that has constant and less in magnitude than the dashed line, and 1 point is earned for Vy that is identical to the graph indicated by a dashed line.